Okay, let's see how we're situated. Well, that's pretty good. What do you think? You can see the umbrella. Here are the bottles. Bottles. The microphone's a little bit, long. I guess we can deal with that. It's a little crooked though. See if we can straighten that out. Oh, okay, how's that? Well, that's good enough, eh? Okay, I'm getting decent here. Okay. Welcome to Water Walk number whatever the hell. That might become my new theme. Oops, that's not gonna work. Okay, how about this? Whoosh. I'm a little bit spaced further back today. Let's see how that works. Maybe better actually, because whatever. Yep. So I don't know. Today I have to get water, obviously. I usually have I have these glass bottles at home that I fill up. I have these plastic bottles here, and I fill them up, and I take them home and fill up these glass bottles. I have about 6, 9. Wait a minute. 3, 6, 9, 13. They can hold 13 liters. Right. So usually there's some left over in the plastic bottles after. So we'll use the plastic bottle water up first, and then head out. Oops, Jesus. Oops. I'm gonna have a flood if I'm not careful. Okay, how's that? Okay. I have to be conscious of the cable. Yes. Wow, it's really far, eh? Oh yeah. Okay, well this is nice. Get a nice long view, maybe. Clean the bottles. Every now and then I actually clean them with hot water, but I don't know, once every couple of months maybe. Anyway, the water doesn't sit in these for too long, so I think it's probably okay. Right. What's new? Nothing's new. I usually try to talk about sort of ecological things here. Since my last one, well, Alaska's probably still warm. Alaska's been quite warm for a while, and it's easy to figure out when you look at the jet stream. People are all shocked. Alaska's, it's 30 degrees. Oh. It's like, yeah. So, how is that anything like a surprise? Oh, this is weird. It's really filled up high. Usually you can't fill it so much. Anyway, it's not weird when you look at the jet stream, right? It's like, oh, that all makes sense. As Paul Beckwith likes to say, the new normal is there's no new normal. Paul Beckwith's been putting up some good, well, he always puts up good videos. I highly recommend his site. Maybe I'll probably link it. I'll link it below if I can remember his YouTube page, or he has a like a website, WordPress site or something too. Anyway, yeah. And Guy McPherson's been presenting some stuff, which is always interesting, compelling. Alberta seems to have taken off the carbon tax, which they had like an NDP government, which if you're not Canadian, NDP is kind of a somewhat left wing. It used to be kind of the working class political party, but it's probably not the case anymore. No one cares about the working class anymore, I'll tell you. Well, people do, but the politicians don't seem to. The working class. Is there even a working class anymore? You know? Like, anyway, whatever. Is that even an applicable term? A useful term? Yeah, So, what was I going on about? Yeah, mostly this week's been all about politically correct foolishness. Well, part of the foolishness comes from me. I made some... Oh yeah, it was a stupid comment about cultural appropriation. Well, it's because Jordan Peterson put up a great video. It's probably an old video. Actually, it is old. It was an excerpt. But anyway, it was an excellent commentary on the concept of cultural appropriation. Like, it was really great, balanced. It wasn't like all right-wingy and like some people claim. It was very balanced. And it was like, as a general theme, it's utterly ridiculous. But at the same time, he goes, that doesn't mean you can go and steal shit. Right? Anyway, it was great. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, so I did some stupid comment, and I took it down, and then I put it up again with a more... not stupid comment. I don't know. One of those weeks, I guess. Anyway, back to living in the mountains. Oh, I really like it. In case you haven't noticed. Yeah. Oh, well, there's a lot of stuff on Attawapiskat going on. Attawapiskat's water is basically not only undrinkable, but unbathable. It's a little bit... I commented on a friend's post on this. It was a CTV, Canadian CTV, Attawapiskat's up in Northern Ontario. Beautiful Northern Ontario. Land of pulp and paper and mining and... Anyway, I don't think the pollution in this case is from, the industries. I think it's... See, the thing is, you can never get details, right? They just put enough there so everyone can get outraged, right? Oh, I know, I could get back into my water thing. Which is, like I say it a lot. Okay, well, back to Attawapiskat. So, basically, there's so much chlorine in the water now that you can't, not only can you not drink it because it's poisonous, but people are saying you can't bathe in it because it gives you lesions. So, look, chlorine just doesn't come out of the sky, right? So, I'm going to make some presumptions here. Probably, people were going, oh, we can't drink the water, it's too much bacteria, which probably means contamination from sewage systems. Although, in a northern place like that, they don't have sewers, right? Probably not. It's probably, God knows what. Like, it might be septic tanks, might be just straight under the ground, might be all kinds of things, right? So, often, if there's contamination, like, say, floods or bad placement of the septic systems from where you get the water, then there's contamination, and then there's lots of bacteria, and that's nasty bacteria, as you might imagine. But to a certain, I don't know the technical details, but as far as I know, to a degree, you can boil it, right? I mean, if it's heavy pollution from shit and stuff, like really intense, no, I can't imagine. But, like, for instance, where I live, there's a river that goes by the house, right? And I drink that water, but I always filter it or boil it. But it's coming off the mountain, and it's coming just through our village. But it's coming through a village of a few hundred people. And everyone has, like, these cement septic tanks that the stuff goes in, and it kind of drains out. It seeps into the soil. And then it gets filtered and blah, blah. So it's actually quite good. But, there's a risk of runoff and stuff. Like on mine, I have an outlet pipe that if it gets too high, it just drains out, right? And it would be just liquid, but you couldn't drink that water. It's right out of your toilet. So then, the outlet goes onto the ground and just filters through the ground, right? And I think that's fine. I think that's how it works. And but anyway, that means that I probably would be hesitant just to drink the water from the little river. It's not a river, it's a stream, like, I don't know, maybe 6 6 to 10 feet wide, depending. Anyway, up here. Yeah, but because it's going through a village, right? I mean, that's just the way it is. So, but the water that they have coming, like this water here that comes into the houses, is coming off the mountain and going through pipes, right? So some, as far as I know, like my friend Pisu Tam can drink her water right out of the tap. But she's quite close to the tanks where these pipes, you know, the spring here is right here, right? And there's water coming out of the mountains all over the place. So what they do is they gather the water and then they pipe it in with these blue PVC pipes into holding tanks. Then that gets piped down the houses. Okay, so it's like Pisu Tam and her close people, they all drink it from the tap, I think, no problem. But I'm not off the same kind of tanks as they are, but I'm further down, right? Like maybe a kilometer away. So it's going through a kilometer of pipes. But mind you, Pisu Tam was at my place, and she just turned on the tap and drank it to show me she could. So, anyway. But so I come here, it's the same water essentially, but I'm getting it right off the spring, basically. But now it's kind of a meditation on water, right? On water, and so it's become a different thing. And it's also, if I get busy or whatever is happening, I have to go get water, because I have to go get water. We all need water, right? So I'll go off, and it's my chance, if I haven't been up this week, up hiking in the mountain, gives me a chance to get into the forest. I listen to the birds. I mean, I listen to the birds all the time around me, but okay, so here's when I hear the story, and I don't know if someone knows the actual story, please let me know. So there's probably all kinds of reasons that the water's polluted in the first place. And then I can just imagine going, the water's, let's make it so we can drink it. Let's put chlorine in. And I know for sure that people will put like bleach in the well to clean it, right? Like I know people that do that. It's chlorine, right? So they just get bottles of bleach and dump it in. Well, we drank it. I don't like it, but it was good. It was okay. We didn't die. So far. Anyway. So what am I trying to say? Right, so now they had shitty bacteria-laden water. Now they have shitty chlorine, chemical-laden water that you can't even bathe in. Like someone was saying that their kids are getting like lesions on their skin, right, from it. It's chlorine, right? It's bleach. Jesus. Anyway, so now it's a big mess. But of course, there's no... I'm wading into tricky territory, right? Because no one's really willing to criticize things. They just want the ability to be outraged, right? So, I don't know. I've never been to Attawapiskat, although I know people have. Anyway, great. Anyway, but what's the situation of their water and septic situation? Like, you just, like, the news outlets won't even talk about that generally. I mean, occasionally something will come out, but to my experience, mostly nothing. Is there situations with corruption with the local government, right? Is there in the sort of bigger sense of the federal government, are they just sort of not bothering? Which, I mean, it could be a combination of all these things, right? So apathy from the government. Is there corruption? I mean, that stuff takes a lot of money. Is money getting siphoning off, and then they don't do a proper job? Like, who knows, right? I'd really love to know that. If anyone knows, I'd really appreciate passing on the information or sending links and stuff. Anyway, so right, so that's Attawapiskat. My friend also posted this. Some lawyer, what was it? Eco rights or eco? Oh shoot, I can't remember. Anyway, she wrote that every Canadian has the right to clean water, right? Yeah. Anyway, when I do this, I'm looking to see if it's still running. It's problematic, right? Everyone wants everyone to have clean water, but no one wants to. Wait, let me approach this from a different angle. And this is something I've said a million times, but in my opinion, if you have clean water coming out of the tap, you're like one of the privileged, you're like the 1%, right? Of the universe, well, let's just say the planet. Clean water coming out of the tap. Wow. That's not your right. That's your fucking... Sorry, that's your luck. I try to keep this okay for everyone. Anyway, that's your incredible fortune, right? And also, if you're in a city or any kind of urban situation, in other words, if you're not on a farm with a nice well, like say my friends in Southwest Alberta, that's purely the result of cheap energy. And then that means it's purely a result of an industrial infrastructure. And that industrial infrastructure is polluting the water up north. That's, on a kind of philosophical, existential kind of level, we'll say, right? I mean, the people in Toronto aren't dumping their feces into Attawapiskat. But maybe you can haven't seen this connection, right? So, okay, so bringing really high-end water cleaning septic systems to remote communities is really expensive. Like really expensive, right? And probably the government should do that, right? Because why wouldn't they have the same rights, the people in Attawapiskat, and there's lots of other places in a similar situation. Like why shouldn't they have the same chance to have decent water and sewage systems as everyone else, right? I say so. But how about this? How about if everyone, if you're in Canada, has to pay $3,000 a year extra to pay for that? Would you do it? I mean, if I had it, I would. I mean, I hardly even make $3,000 a year to begin with, but anyway, that's beside the point. Do you see what I'm getting at? People. Anyway, it's complex, needs fixing, and it needs a realistic view and information being passed on as to what the state is, right? If there's corruption at the local level, hardly anyone's going to jump on it, because then you get into a political firestorm, right? And in the current state of things, I think, the politically correct thing, people are avoiding that. And that's just terrible. I mean, it's better to say something and have it be stupid, in my opinion, if it can at least somehow lead to some real information, but even better, some real change, right? I mean, it seems obvious, but anyway. But now people are afraid to say. People are afraid to say things. And it's not just me imagining it out of nowhere, looking at it from half a world away, literally, I actually know people that have said no, people are saying things privately, but they won't say it publicly. And also in the arts world. I get it. It's a little bit like, say, Guy McPherson talking about, like, his professors, his co-professors would say, "Oh, I agree with you," but they wouldn't back him up, right? Or Brett Weinstein at Evergreen College. He was pushing back against some really, really nutty stuff that went on there. And a whole bunch of professors came up to him and said, "Oh, I agree with you." But they went along with the group, the mob. It's not even a group, with the mob, right? It's like, cowards. But, you can understand, right? So, what else? Oh, it's becoming a rant on political correctness. There's someone else. Oh, Peterson. Oh, yeah. Jordan Peterson, Lindsay Shepard, so that whole bunch, the academia, they've also said, oh, yeah, people have come up to them privately to say, oh, I'm with you. Thanks for doing it. And then they'll support the other side. I'm like, that's ridiculous. It's understandable, but ridiculous and cowardly. I think so. Easy for me to say, right? What do I care? I could say anything here. I think. Well, I could get shut down, maybe. Anyway, I think most of the stuff I say isn't so inflammatory that I would get shut down off YouTube or whatever. But I know people, I hear of people that do. Anyway, but like I could basically say anything, it won't affect my life, really. Right? People aren't going to not hire me because I said something that didn't fit in with their ideological identity politics crap. Right? So what do I care? I live in a forest in the mountains. But what if I have to go back to Canada and then I'm screwed? Anyway, I don't want to go back. I want to stay here in my little forest. What else? There's something else I want to say. Yeah. Identity politics. Oh yeah, I know what I was going to say. I was going to say, oh, but hang on a second. If anyone watching here found what I said was disturbing, but was thinking of buying one of my guitars, I take it all back. I was just making it up. I don't mean it at all. I have three guitars available, soon 4. So if you want one, just let me know and say, oh, it was just a big joke. I don't mean a word of what I'm saying. Oops. Ooh, something bit me. That happens sometimes. Something bites you. Oh. Yeah. Anyway, this has been kind of fun. Where are we at? Look at this. Just blabbing away for more than 20 minutes. It's ridiculous. Okay, maybe I'll give it a halt for now. Get my water packed up, my pack basket in my back, and maybe I'll do a little bit of walking because the sun's coming out. It's going to be really pretty. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, we're back. Said our thanks for the water. Got the pack on. Oh, the sun's kind of gone out. It's quite cloudy right now. Hasn't been so rainy, actually. I mean, it rains pretty much every day, but it's lighter this year for sure. I was going to say it makes life easier where I am, which is true. It's still really humid, though. You know, it doesn't really go below 90% at the moment, from what I can tell. It might when it's been dry for a couple of days. And anyway, the forest just absorbs moisture, right? Anyway, it's been lovely rainy season up here. Probably the farmers down on the flatlands could use more, I would imagine, although I haven't heard one way or the other. That's really good. Yeah. I keep thinking of one good friend of mine she's speaking out, where she can. People are saying, oh, shouldn't do this because you can get in trouble. It's like, I agree with you, but don't say that. You're gonna get in trouble. It's like, what is this freaking wall time East Berlin? That's stretching it, but yeah, those politically correct people are just like the Stasi. I mean, you can see the parallels, but let's face it, it's a bit of a stretch. You know, at the moment, at least, it's a little bit like, you know, not this. I haven't seen any this year, but last year with The Handmaid's Tale. That's a great show, by the way. So, and they've done really. I think they've done well with extending beyond the original story. This TV show. Anyway, TV. Does anyone watch TV shows on TV anymore? Anyway, wow, look at this forest. So beautiful. I'm gonna. Anyway, I'll just say this and then I'll go back to listen to the birds. The people are saying, "Oh, The Handmaid's Tale is now." I'm like, really? Maybe if you live in Saudi Arabia. But if you're American or Canadian, no. I get the point, but no. Yeah, maybe. Oh, sorry, I was just thinking something. That's so weird, eh? Live alone in the bush too much, you kind of start talking to yourself. And right now, I was thinking something, and then out loud, I was thinking something in my head, and then out loud, thinking I was still in my head, I went, not really. Oh, she's losing her mind. Someone go help. Just thinking, sometimes when I'm on my motorbike, right, heading into the city on Fridays, with Kendo, and then hang out with my mom, my sister. Sometimes I just start talking on the motorbike. Like, if I have something that's bugging me, I'll just talk it out on the motorbike. and I have to have a scarf to protect my face from the wind, so no one even knows it, right? They might hear some sounds coming as I zoom by. Mostly I don't do that in the city, but I do it when I'm riding through the countryside part. It's really beautiful. But I find it really cathartic to verbalize these thoughts, you know? And on the motorbike, somehow it's freeing, and the wind's in, I have a helmet on, but the wind's in your face and hair, not my hair, but you know. Anyway, yeah, it's so great. Yeah, I have a little motorbike. It's 125cc, standard, or you know, manual clutch, as they say, 4-speed. Don't usually go faster than 60, and mostly I hover around 40 and 50 kilometers per hour. So it's you know, I take my inspiration from all the elder people up here in the mountains in terms of how I ride my motorbike. Seems wise. Considering Thailand is like the second worst accident death rate in the world or something. That's probably a lot. Anyway, whatever, I won't go into that. Yeah, so motorbikes are great. Usually I spend about, in 1 week on fuel, spend 120 baht. And that's about, in Canadian dollars, that's maybe like $4 American, or I don't know, $5 or $6 Canadian, I guess. Works great. Sometimes I carry stuff. Like I've carried heavy planks of wood on it. And like when I fill up my propane tanks, I'll just tie it onto the back seat. I just want to be Thai. I'm turning Japanese, yes, I'm turning Japanese, I think so. Or it's, I'm turning Thai. I'm a turning the Thai, yes, I think so. Thai kitwa so. It reminds me, I was just way back when in 80s or something. I was in Toronto on a streetcar. For those who don't know, their streetcars are like buses on tracks that go along the streets in Toronto and elsewhere. Anyway, there's this girl sitting by the window. She's young. This is in the olden days when like young parents felt not so terrified and they let their kids ride in the streetcar. Yeah, she might have been 10 or 11. Anyway, yeah, no problem. She's just sitting there off in her own world. You could just see it. She's got the long view, you know. She's looking at the distant mountains with her head against the window. She's sitting on the window seat. She has her head against the window. And she's just singing, "Don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me now?" A little pause. "Don't you want me, baby? Don't you?" It was beautiful. It was like, that was it. The whole strip, she just sang it the whole time. That's that line. It was a mantra. It was a meditation, is what it was. Right? That was her version of Om. It's a great lesson in that, eh? Should we? Oh, we're coming to the nice open part here. It's gonna be a long video. 30 minutes at least. Tough luck. If you made it this far, you can make it to the end. Which probably means Su Chang and Brendan. Hey lads, how's it going? Anyway, actually, people have told me they listen to these things, so for anyone else listening, if you want to say hi, please do. Give me a big Again, switching it. If you like this video, give me a big thumbs up and subscribe and press the alarm button. Unless you're watching on Facebook, in which case you can just do a like. But if you're watching on YouTube, usually on YouTube I get like 12 views. And then Su Chang goes, "Hey, you should monetize your YouTube page." I'm like, not sure if it's really quite worth the effort. Anyway, yeah. So that was great, eh? That girl. It's popped in my brain. I guess it's turning Japanese. And then it goes into, "Don't you want me?" There's that era of music. Anyway, let's see if we can get some distance going here. Oh, so it's a great day. It's a really great day today. Really nice to be out. At this time of year, as I've said a million times, but this might be the first time you've seen one of these, so I might as well say it again. I usually try to get out in the mornings. Because generally speaking, the rains come in the afternoon. Not always, but that's the general way of it at the moment. Yeah. Let's get some views. Ooh, look at that. Steep hill, eh? Don't want to slip. What else? What else can I blab on about? So this was like 2/3 going on about politically correct bullshit. Mocking it. I'm mocking it. And then 1/3 walking through the beautiful forest. And I'm still blabbing a little bit, but I tried to tie it down. I tried to make it less talking, but it wasn't completely successful. Anyway, oh yeah, give me a big thumbs up. That's from this. Okay, I'm gonna give a plug to this woman doing YouTube videos. She's on a Royal Enfield Himalayan, which is kind of it's a motorbike. It's not a big one, it's like 400cc. It's big enough, but she's riding all over the place. She started in India, went through, I guess, I guess she went up through India and skipped Bangladesh into Myanmar. But interesting, through Myanmar she had to be with a group. They wouldn't just let her go on her own. And then into Thailand. And it turns out she loved Thailand. Someone asked her in a question and answer, oh, what place really did you really love the most? And that's a rough question because it's hard to say, and you don't want to say. But anyway, she did say she was surprised at how much she loved Thailand, because I think maybe her first trip wasn't so great. But this one, she just loved it, and it was so nice to hear that. Anyway, now she's in Turkey, she's ridden through Afghanistan, Georgia, Azerbaijan, Armenia, Russia, all over the place. Georgia, did I say Georgia? Anyway, Itchy Boots is her. I'm gonna link her video, her YouTube page. She's her spirit's great. And here's the great thing about her. Well, I mean, what she's doing is amazing. And she's alone, right? She's alone, and she's going like into Iran. Oh, she went to Iran. Lots of places where people in the West think, oh, you can't go there as a woman. They'll fucking wrap you in a cloth and dump you in a ditch somewhere. I exaggerate, I think. Anyway, yeah. I mean, maybe Afghanistan's not a good idea, but whatever. But she does, and you can see. Here's the point I'm trying to make. You can see in her spirit, that she just approaches this with this really beautiful, open spirit, and everyone responds to her. Almost across the board, you can see people are smiling, want to help her. Her experience in Iran was like wonderful. I mean, I think she was wearing a headscarf for that, which fair enough. And there's other Muslim countries she went into, and she did that, which is respectful. But no issue. People are like surprised, of course, because if you're alone, period, and then you're alone as a woman, right? People are like, but mostly people go, wow, really alone? Wow, that's so cool. Essentially, that's how it goes, right? It's so inspiring because, to me, the big message of her traveling is that, look, so much in how the world deals with you is how you deal with the world, right? It's not across the board, but my own experience is, look, people look at me and go, oh, you can see it. You can see the going, right? But look, you just smile and say, hey, how's it going, man? Or whatever, and you smile and you just show your true self, you be open, boom, so quickly. And so quickly that changes, you know? So you can, to my thinking, you can really see the real spirit, that really beautiful part of people when that happens, right? Yeah, I think it's really important. And right now, there's a lot of people that just want to bitch and complain all the time. You know, it bugs me. Because look, if you want to complain, then I guess just complain, you know. But I would say don't be too surprised if people just don't pay attention to you. But look, you really want to communicate with others, especially others from a different world, right? It's really beautiful, so beautiful. And so possible, and so not that difficult is the thing, right? Just go and do it. Anyway, I'm talking about Itchy Boots. Her name's Nora Lee, I think. Anyway, she always goes, hey, well, give me a big thumbs up and press that alarm bell thing and subscribe. That's what she says on everyone. Anyway, so I'm going to emulate her, and I've said it now twice, so that's probably good enough. Okay, so hope everyone's doing great. Get out and get in the forest if you can, or in the Great Plains on the grass, or if you're up in Shield Country, Northern Canada, get into that lake and swim and breathe the beautiful air. Do what you can. And if you practice kendo, get out and train. Okay, ciao.